Hello my dear children, welcome back to my class. In today's class, let us discuss about the earth and its geographical features. Our earth is a unique planet, as we all know that it is a home for all living beings. Earth is very large and spherical in shape. Due to its spherical shape, it is very difficult to view its entire surface at a time. That is why we use globe to study about the earth. Now, what do you mean by globe? A three-dimensional spherical model of the earth is called a globe. Why is it three-dimensional? Look at the globe here. This is the model of the earth called globe. It has length, it has breadth, and as well as it has depth. So, a three-dimensional spherical. So, what is the shape of the earth? The shape of the earth is spherical. A three-dimensional spherical model of the earth is called a globe. A globe helps us to locate the places such as continents, countries, and oceans. Look here children, globe
can spin
on its own axis. What do you mean by axis? The axis is an imaginary line on which the earth rotates or spins. Okay? They are an imaginary line on which earth rotates or spins. The end of the axis in the northern hemisphere is called the North Pole. The end of the axis in the southern hemisphere is called the South Pole. So, this is northern hemisphere and this part is southern hemisphere. So, the end is called the North Pole in the northern hemisphere and this end in the southern hemisphere is called the South Pole. So, when we look at the globe, we can see a number of lines and these lines are of two types. They are latitudes and longitudes. Look at the picture here. So, these lines are known as latitude lines whereas these lines are known as longitude lines. So, latitude lines are horizontal lines whereas longitude lines are vertical lines. These lines helps us to locate the places on the earth. Now let us learn about latitudes in detail. The imaginary lines that run parallel to each other in an east-west direction around the globe are known as parallels of latitudes. A number of parallel lines can be seen on the globe. However, in reality, there are no such lines present on the surface of the earth. These lines help us to locate the places on the earth and they are in which direction? They run from east to west direction and these lines are known as parallels of latitudes. And these lines form a complete circle as earth is spherical in shape. There is a line at the center of the earth. This line is known as equator. Equator divides the earth into two equal parts. They are northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. The equator is the longest latitude and is called the Great Circle. So, equator is known as the Great Circle. The part of the earth that lies towards the north of the equator is called the northern hemisphere and the part lies towards the south of the equator is called the southern hemisphere. Now, let us learn about importance of latitude. Latitudes are used to locate the north-south position of the places in the globe. The latitudes are measured in 0 degree. The 0 degree latitude is the equator. The latitudes are measured from 0 degree to 90 degree north while moving to the North Pole in the northern hemisphere, and 0 degree to 90 degrees south while moving towards the South Pole in the southern hemisphere. Now let us learn about important latitude. Some of the important latitudes are 23.5 degree north latitude is Tropic of Cancer. 23.5 degrees south latitude is Tropic of Capricorn. 66.5 degree north latitude is Arctic Circle, whereas 66.5 degrees south is the Antarctic Circle. And I have told you about equator, that is 0 degree latitude. It is at the center of the earth. These are the main latitudes. Now let us learn about longitudes. The imaginary lines that run from North Pole to South Pole are called the meridians of longitude. So, they are the imaginary line, they run from North Pole to the South Pole and they are called the meridians of longitude. Unlike latitude, there is no central longitude, but an international agreement was decided that the meridian line passing through the Royal Observatory and Greenwich in England is the reference point for longitudes, and this line is known as prime meridian. So, prime meridian is referred as 0 degree meridian. Prime meridian divides Earth into two equal halves. They are Eastern Hemisphere and Western Hemisphere. 0 degree meridian is the base for international dateline. Now let us learn about grid. What do you mean by grid? The parallels of latitude and meridians of longitude intersect each other to form a network of lines called a grid. You can observe here, these lines are latitude lines, whereas these lines are longitude lines. So, the parallels of latitude and meridians of longitude, they intersect each other, okay, to form a network of lines called grid. This grid helps us to locate the places on the earth. Look at the picture here. These lines are latitude lines and these lines are longitude lines and they form a grid. So, grid helps us to locate the places on the earth. Now, let us discuss some of the exercise question answers. What is a globe? A three-dimensional spherical model of the earth is called a globe. How can we locate a place on the earth? The parallels of latitude and meridians of longitude intersect each other to form a network of lines called a grid, which helps to locate places on a globe. What is a prime meridian? The prime meridian is the imaginary line that divides the earth into two equal parts, the Eastern Hemisphere and the Western Hemisphere. Name the four hemispheres the earth is divided into. Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere, Western Hemisphere and Eastern Hemisphere. Now let us discuss fill in the blanks. The latitude of 0 degree is called equator. The latitude 23.5 degree north of the equator is called the Tropic of Cancer. The latitude 23.5 degrees south of the equator is called the Tropic of Capricorn. The latitude 66.5 degree north of the equator is called the Arctic Circle. The latitude 66.5 degrees south of the equator is called the Antarctic Circle. I hope you have understood my lesson. Have a happy learning. Thank you.